But first, breaking tonight, the Trump administration has just announced it has signed its elusive mineral deal with Ukraine. That announcement comes on the heels of news the U.S. economy shrank in the first quarter of 2025 for the first time in 3 years. The gross domestic product declined 0.3 of a percentage point. President Trump and his team are downplaying the significance of the number. Senior White House correspondent Jacqui Heinrich starts us off tonight live from the North Lawn. Good evening, Jacqui.
Good evening, Brett. The U.S. and Ukraine finally inking that long-awaited so-called minerals deal, establishing an economic partnership in recognition of U.S. support to Ukraine. The Treasury Department announcing that this is a signal to Russia that the U.S. is committed to a peace that's centered on a free, sovereign, and prosperous Ukraine. Also saying no state or person who funded the Russian war machine, or supplied it rather, will be allowed to benefit from Ukraine's reconstruction. This news is a bright spot after a cloudy GDP report today that the president blamed on his predecessor.
That's Biden. That's not Trump, because we came in on January. This is quarterly numbers.
President Trump brushing off today's GDP report showing the U.S. economy shrinking for the first time since 2022, in large part because imports surged at a 41% pace ahead of Trump's tariffs taking effect. Government spending also dropped.
It says how bad a situation we inherited. And you could even say the next quarter is sort of Biden, because it doesn't just happen on a daily or an hourly basis.
Economists say the report exaggerates the troubles of the economy, but the Port of Los Angeles is bracing for a 35% drop in cargo arrivals as soon as next week, which would have an immediate impact on dock workers, truckers, and warehouse workers, and soon after, consumers.
Retailers are telling me that they've got 5 to 7 weeks left of traditional inventory. We'll likely see fewer choices on shelves and online shopping networks.
Trump insists China has it worse.
I was actually saddened to hear it, but they are getting absolutely hammered in China.
The White House not revealing yet which cabinet officials were allegedly being tracked for disinformation by the Biden administration.
There's at least one person at this table today who had a dossier in that building. Well, we are going to turn over these dossiers to the individuals, and they'll decide whether they want to disclose it or not.
Also not revealing whether the U.S. made a formal request to El Salvador's government for the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Well, I would never tell you that. And you know who else I'll never tell? A judge. Because the conduct of our foreign policy belongs to the President of the United States.
The president sparring with ABC over the man's alleged gang affiliation.
He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshop.
Terry, you can't do that.
Now, the president previously shared a photo of the man's tattoos on social media, which had MS-13 markers above each corresponding tattoo, which were a marijuana leaf, a smiley face, a cross, and a skull. The White House has not explained who added the markers or even acknowledged that they were added, but they said there's no dispute the man's tattoos signify MS-13. Brett.
Jacqui, another topic. Today, the president referred in that cabinet meeting to his defense secretary jokingly as his least controversial cabinet member. You know, there was this bipartisan pushback over a Pentagon program Defense Secretary Hegseth ended. What's that all about?
Yeah, yesterday, the defense secretary announced that he proudly ended the Women, Peace, and Security program, which recognizes participation of women in conflict prevention and resolution. Hegseth called it a woke DEI initiative pushed by feminists and hated by troops that distracts from warfighting. Ironically, several members of the Trump cabinet pushed this through Congress, including Kristi Noem, Mike Waltz, and Marco Rubio. It was also championed by Ivanka Trump. After some bipartisan backlash, Hegseth later posted that this program was ruined by Biden. Brett.
Jacqui Heinrich, right in front of the West Wing. Jacqui, thank you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.